What's going on, guys? My name's Dylan, and today I want to thank you for joining me both on this journey and in this channel. So this is a brand new channel, and we're hoping to see a lot of interaction and growth, and I just really mainly hope that I can help you guys learn a few things about finances and about how to live a debt-free lifestyle and what that looks like. Hey guys, so today's video topic is actually pretty interesting. And a lot of people are probably curious about, well, how is this even possible? But today's topic, as you can tell by the title, is how I got paid to go to college. Now, that being said, there's a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So guys, now I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about how I ended up getting paid to go to school, and that you guys can do it too. So basically what happened was I applied for the scholarship that I had no business applying for, which sounds kind of odd, right? Like, why would you apply for this? So what happened was my community college sent out a flyer email basically for scholarships. And what they said on the flyer was, we have $500,000 in unused scholarship money. Please come and take this and go to school and go to school and go to school. Like, I can't stress that enough. Now, I got to thinking, a community college has $500,000 in unused scholarship money, and they want to give it away because otherwise it just goes away. It goes back to whoever gave it, and they can choose to redonate it or something. I'm not totally sure all the clauses on that, but so I applied for the scholarship, had none of the minimum requirements, actually zero of the requirements that they were looking for. And through my resume and my letters of recommendation, so this is especially good for those of you who have some work experience. So if you can get a boss and a teacher or two a teacher or two to go ahead and write a letter of recommendation, your chances of getting any scholarship at all skyrocket, like through the roof. So that scholarship ended up being almost $17,000 across 2 years. Now the standard tuition is really close to $10,000 a year at Portland State, so that was $8,400 a year that I had now covered. I'm like, wow, that's insane. Now, I got like $500 a year, $600 a year for federal student aid or something like that. So pretty close to $9,000 at this point. And I'm like, that's pretty darn cool. Like, I will have little to no student loans. You know, I might be able to cash flow this. I might be able to go ahead and pay for school outright. No loans at all, no debt, and I was like psyched. So about 3 weeks before the term, I went into my student account to kind of see what I was going to owe, and I found this thing in my scholarships and grants section where it's called Transfer Finish Free. And I'm like, what is that? So I look it up, and Portland State has a program where if you transfer from a community college to a 4-year, or to Portland State specifically, they will actually cover 4 years tuition for free. 4 more years. So you could go to a community college for a year here in Portland, transfer to Portland State, and go to college for free for 4 more years. All you have to do is apply for FAFSA every year, maintain FAFSA eligibility, and be a transfer student with a GPA of 2.5 or better. Now, that is not a super steep requirement. It's C's and some B's. So pretty much everyone has access to these funds as long as they apply for FAFSA and try a little bit in school. Now, that being said, I now had my tuition covered fully. I had $8,400 on top of my tuition, which broke down to $2,800 a term that I was getting paid into my pocket, minus a few fees, and the transfer program doesn't cover a parking pass. So I took $400 out of my scholarship to get a parking pass each term. So close between $2,000 and $2,400 every term that I'm getting paid to go to school. Now, this is a pretty unique case, and a lot of you guys might say, oh man, you're just lucky, like, oh, you just applied at the right time, you applied for the right scholarship, blah blah blah. Yeah, I did, and you're not wrong, but here are some other ways for you guys to actually go ahead and model this model, and follow this model, I guess is a better way to say that, and go to school and either get paid for it or go to school for free. Either way, you're not going to be complaining. Alright, so we're going to throw a few programs up on screen, probably right around here, and just talk through them a little bit. So the first one I want to talk about is called a MESA, which is a Matched Education Savings Account. Now this savings account is typically, all the ones that I've seen so far, I did a little bit of research on them, they match your savings at a 3-to-1 rate as long as you're using it for tuition or books. So any tuition or book related expenses, you can match $3 for every dollar that you put in. Now that means if you put in, the ones here in Oregon, Washington, Idaho are typically capped at about $1,500. So you put in $500, they're going to match $1,500, 3 times the amount, and then you can use $2,000 in order to go and pay down towards your tuition. Now, if you combine this with a FAFSA program, which gives you like what, $5,800 a year typically, especially if you're right out of high school, or you can be saving that towards when you transfer from a community college to a 4-year. $2,000 goes a long way on your tuition, especially if you incorporate FAFSA on top of that. That's $7,800 that you're getting, all for the price of $500 of tuition. That's insane. That is unheard of. Let's do a quick calculation, and we'll throw that up on the screen, on the rate of return that you're getting on that $500. It's nuts. And so if you go ahead and use that, that's almost every in-state school's tuition ever, which is nuts. So that already takes tuition down to almost nothing. Now for me, there's another program, it's called an IDA. And so an IDA is an individual development account, and we'll throw that up probably again right here. Now these are a little bit harder to find. Now the IDAs that I've seen can apply to education, housing, housing remodeling even. Like there's a lot of things, and a lot of people actually donate to these and want to help students, want to help new homeowners, lower income families. I'm actually looking at applying for an IDA right now in order to be able to save up for down payment on a house. Now what that looks like for me is if I put in $2,000, they will match again at a 3-to-1 ratio. So this is $6,000 that I didn't pay for. I just put $2,000 in a savings account, and they gave me $6,000 for free towards the down payment. Now that is unheard of. It's unreal, and nobody talks about these things. Nobody knows about these programs. The only reason I know about the MESA and the IDA program is because a banker from a local credit union, I was trying to say credit communion, but like community credit union, but credit communion instead. Jesus is up here like, yeah, credit cards. I don't think that's what Jesus would be doing. But anyways, he was from a local community credit union. There we go. And was talking about putting at the time, so much regret that I didn't do this, because one, you have to be kind of in a lower income bracket, and now I'm a little bit above that, unfortunately. but basically it was like 1,500. You could put in up to $1,500, and they would give you $4,500 into a savings account that you could use for school. Now, I really wish I would have taken advantage of that. I was a little bit hesitant at the time because I hadn't really heard about them, and I didn't do very much research. And $1,500 was a lot for me back then. You know, it was like, this is a little nerve-wracking. But now, most of them are doing $500 for, they'll match up to $1,500. So, why you want to take advantage of these programs, I have no idea. But yeah, go ahead, look into those. I know there's lots of local things like that. Going to community college for 2 years for free is a really big thing in Oregon right now. I know they offer that in Tennessee. I think Texas has a program like that. Washington for sure does. I'm pretty sure California does as well now. A lot of community colleges are jumping on board with this program to get people to go to school. Now, 2 years for free is nuts. I mean, that's already half your college expense right there just to get a bachelor's degree. And a bachelor's degree still gets you a really long way in the workforce. Like, it is huge. 7 in 100 people have a college degree. 7% of the world's population has a college degree. Yes, that does kind of skew things. There's a ton of people in, Africa and maybe China that are probably not going to get a college degree. That's just the culture. But still, you could be one of 7% of the world's population with a college degree. Alright, you guys. Good news and bad news. Good news is I was way off. Bad news is that 70% of the class of 2018 is still $30,000 in debt. $30,000, that's the average. Now, some people are going to have way, way more, and some people will have less to slightly less, but even then, so if I took out loans to do 2 years at community college and then 2 years at private, that would still be $20,000 for the private, and like $10,000, close to $10,000 for the 2 years at community college. That's still $30,000. That is way too much. So that's the average student debt. Now, 14% of those people also took out, or their parents rather, also took out an average of $36,000 in Parent Plus loans. That is scary. We have $1.56 trillion in student loan debt as of February this year. That is way too much. I'm getting paid to go to school when I applied for scholarships that I had none of the requirements for. I had 0. I didn't transfer in as a junior like they wanted. I didn't have the minimum GPA. I didn't have the other requirement they were looking for that I can't remember right now. But I was basically like, might as well. They'll probably just throw this one away, but you gotta try. You gotta try, you guys. $500,000 per year at a community college is not being used for scholarships. Imagine what universities' funding looks like. It's probably way out of proportion. So please apply for scholarships. Apply for FAFSA. Look into MESA and college savings programs. There's also 529s, which people use a lot. That's actually more of like an investment. So if you are watching this video and you're looking how to get your kids to go to school, look into 529s. It's an investment account where you can put in up to, I believe, $10,000 a year, $15,000 a year now. So we're going to go ahead and look at something called a 529 savings program. Now, what this looks like is a $10,000 initial investment right here. Then we're going to go ahead and go through the years, blah, blah, blah. So if you put in $10,000, waited 18 years for your kid to grow up and be ready for school, you would have saved, without putting a single penny into that account, $40,000. And the average degree debt was $30,000. So now what that looks like is a paid for degree, and they're out of debt. That is the beauty of the 529. Anyways, I just want to thank you guys for watching. I really do hope this helped you find some solution to be able to afford college or go to college debt-free. Or if you have any questions or need any help finding programs, just leave questions in the comments. I'll probably answer pretty much everything until we get like 1 million subscribers, which is probably not going to happen ever. But I really do hope this helped. I hope you could take some advice from it. Remember, scholarships, FAFSA, MESA and IDA programs, and 529s. Those are our 4 options for going to school debt-free. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and feel free to leave a like down below and a subscribe right over there. That would help out the channel get promoted a lot, and maybe we could help a lot more people that way. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.